Hey, what's going on? It's Joe Teel, and you're tapped into another 180 Creator interview. Like always, I got another great guest, Kevin Wesselhoft. What's going on, man?
What's going on?
I'm excited, dude. So you're a firefighter.
I am.
And the volunteer firefighter, volunteer fire chief? Fire chief.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get my terms together. Yeah. Liberty Eylau. So right out of high school, did you become a firefighter? How did that go?
Well, I was... in the volunteer side, I was kind of raised up in it because my dad was the chief, so I grew up in it.
He was Liberty Eyelau's chief?
Yeah, he was chief for a long time, over 15 years.
Awesome.
And then, so it's kind of in the blood. And then as growing up, I was a cadet, and you can start that as 15. And then I went to, trainings, and at 18, I became a fireman, volunteer. And then just did that, went to meetings, trainings, and fires, and just kind of went up through the ranks. And of probably about 3.5 years ago, got voted in as chief.
Heck yeah. I'm talking to the chief now. So at what point did you say you're on the Arkansas side? You're just a regular?
Well, I'm at the airport fire department.
Airport fire department.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so when did that happen?
I've been out there for about 4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Heck yeah. So at what point did you decide that you wanted to go to be like a full-time firefighter?
Man, it's always been in the back of my head, but I kind of did, different jobs before I actually got hired out there. I delivered equipment. I did all kinds of things, and they had an opening. And I was like, you know what? This time I'm going to shoot for it. And it's always been, a childhood dream. I mean, being a fireman. So I went out there and applied and got hired.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't really have experience fighting fires unless you've fought some fires. So.
Yeah, I mean, the only experience you could get is, maybe being a volunteer and then going into it. But, even before a volunteer, most people have no experience at all.
So how does that work? So I know there's not is there like a police academy type thing for firefighters?
Yeah, so there is academies. They have one in, so if you're in Texas, like Liberty Eylau would go to, they have one in College Station. It's a big training academy. Paid and volunteers go down there. But we do a lot of our training in-house. So, right down the road, we do a lot of our training there. We get certificates. We put out certificates. We do the training. We put it on and have other departments come in. And so a lot of it is in-house. Right. But they can go out and do it.
College Station, where is that? Is that Oz? Where is College Station?
It's in College Station's College Station. It's I'm slow. It's where A&M University.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I'm
it's actually the big old training field. It's called TEEX, TEEX.
Okay, and
it's right across from the university. So it's a big old training facility. It's called Disaster City. They have everything you could think of.
So it's like a fake city type deal. Oh,
rail cars, 2- and 3-story buildings.
Oh man,
airplanes. So you get all kinds of training there.
Yeah. We at Fort Benning, one of the funnest things I did when I was in the Army was they had like this simulated village, and it was huge.
Oh yeah,
and there was tons of houses and stuff. And
that's exactly how this is.
Yeah, so that's cool when you show up there and you're like,
because a lot of them are going. That's their first time. They're going through the academy there to become like a professional fireman, and they know nothing about it, and that's their first experience. So it's all like in a controlled environment. Like they have houses there that's plumbed with like gas lines, so they can shut it off and turn it on. So it's really neat.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you got called out to your first fire?
And I think the first fire, and I probably around 15 or 16 when I joined as a cadet, probably riding with my dad to fires and just kind of tagging along and seeing what it's about and going because as a cadet, you could go to like grass fires and help out. When we had like a house fire, you could help out, but you had to stay in like a staging area. Couldn't go to like vehicle accidents because what you might see.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of experience as a cadet, so you kind of get that knowledge like first in the early years.
What do you see more? Do you see more house fires, or do you see more?
Man, Liberty Eylau, we see a lot of motor vehicle accidents. That's that and probably medical calls are like our two calls. We normally get. We run religiously on that kind of stuff. It's like of course we do have a lot of house fires and stuff, but it's a lot of wrecks. A lot of wrecks.
I was seeing. I guess Texarkana police, their Facebook page started putting out their monthly, their weekly numbers or something.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
45 traffic accidents.
Yeah. A lot of people.
That's the one that got me like in a week.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know how much really they go. These police and EMTs and firemen, how busy they are and that kind of stuff.
And that's Texas. That's just Texas side.
Yeah. That's not including the Arkansas side or anything outside the city limits.
Yeah. So Liberty Eylau is a community technically, right?
Yeah, we're not a city. We're just a community.
Right.
So it's never been like incorporated into a city.
Right.
It's just straight community.
Right. And so at what point do they call, at what point do you get called? Is it as soon as you enter like Liberty Eylau, or is it out of the city limits of Texarkana? How does that work?
So we have a run district area, and those boundaries usually butt up with other departments. So like if we go so far down Lake Drive, we go to usually like by the bridge up there where the Exxon is, and that's where Texarkana takes over. That's where the city limits
That's
start.
where like 7.
Yeah, Engine 7 takes over. And like if we go on 59 towards Atlanta and Queen City, just technically in the middle of the bridge, Sulphur River, that's when Cass County and Queen City take over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
we all kind of have our boundaries. On 67, right there by the flashing light by OTs, just past that is when Redwater's Fire District takes over.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And going up Kings Highway, right there at Old Redwater Road, that's where we stop. And that's where Wake Village takes over. Right. So we kind of got a boxed area.
Yeah, got a box area. Yeah. I'm seeing that.
So it's all covered. It's just when one district starts, usually another one takes over.
And then y'all go up, kind of butt all the way up against the river into Liberty Eylau, huh?
Yeah, so we have a good portion of the river, and we have a good chunk of the lake we cover too.
Okay,
so.
yeah. Because I ain't going to say, never mind, I ain't going to say where I live on the podcast. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm in Liberty Eylau. I'm in your area. Yeah.
Well.
So someone calls 911. Dispatch will send them to y'all if it's in y'all's deal.
Yeah, so they got up at dispatch. They sit at a bunch of computers, and when they dispatch it, they have a call taker, and they determine where you're at in like either in the city limits or in the county, and then that dispatcher will tone out that department. So if it's in Liberty Eylau, they'll tone us out, and we have radios, and we have an app system on our phone too. If we're not carrying a radio, they'll tone out whatever it is. They'll give us what the call is and like the location of it.
Right. So it's usually what sheriffs that are there when y'all are there in the community, because the police department wouldn't show up to the same call as y'all.
It just depends on what it is. Bowie County is pretty good about showing up. Just if they're in the area, just kind of making a presence. And if it's maybe it's a call that we go to that needs the sheriff's office there, they'll respond to it.
Yeah. And
of course, LifeNet, we work on medical calls. They show up too. So usually most of the time on a medical call or something like that, it's the fire department and EMTs and stuff. Just depending on what it is.
Yeah, man. There's so many different reasons y'all could get called, huh?
Oh man,
it's not just fighting fires.
Yeah, a lot of people just think it's just fires. We do it all. We could show up because your smoke detector's not working, or I don't know the exact date, but many years ago, right in front of the Rock School, there was a gasoline tanker that rolled over and pretty much blew up. And we was there for 8-12 hours. Dang. So you never know. It could be hazmat, medical, fire, wrecks. I mean, fire departments do it all.
Yeah. So when you're at the regular fire department and y'all are on a shift, you said you work 24
Yeah, I'm there pretty much a day, and then I get 2 days off.
So are there days where you're just chilling?
Oh yeah, of course. We have assigned like duties we got to do. So on one day we may have to do this. Like on Mondays we clean a certain thing. Tuesdays we do this. Thursdays what we call pole day. We have 2 poles in the fire station. And they're brass poles.
I was going to ask about the poles.
So if you don't polish them, a brass pole, they'll turn green. So you got to polish them. So Thursdays, it's like a dreadful day around there. Yeah. So, but we all
polish the pole.
Yeah, it turns green. But there's some downtime, especially out there where we are. It's kind of an easy going pace out there. Knock on wood. There's not something that happens every day out the airport.
But when something does happen, it's
we've got a plane full of people that's dependent on us.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all deal with Is it so? Do y'all get calls off of the airport, or you're just the airport?
So we're dedicated to the airport.
Okay,
that's
cool.
exactly why we're out there. We're straight dedicated there. So if the plane comes in, has an in-flight emergency, where we got to go to that. So it could be anything out there. It may not even be nothing with the plane. It could be the airfield catches on fire or something. We got to respond to that. So, or they could have a medical emergency in the terminal or in the parking lot. So there's a list of things that can happen out there.
Yeah, so I never thought about this, but there probably is a fire department in every airport, huh?
Definitely. Yeah. If it's the airport, because they're divided in like indexes, classes, and if it has commercial aircraft coming in, they've got to be a certain length. They require a fire department to be there. Like Atlanta has an airport, but it's not a certain index, so they don't require to have.
Atlanta has an airport?
Yeah. So they don't require to have a fire department there.
Yeah. So bigger.
Yeah. If it's got pretty much commercial aircraft coming in there, you got to have a fire department.
Okay. Learn something. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. It's
had any airplane emergencies?
We had one probably 3 or 4 shifts ago, actually. It was a medical call. It was, of course, they all come from Dallas. The flights go from here to Dallas, Dallas to here. And it was a medical call we had. And they landed, they taxied up to the jet bridges because we have jet bridges now at the new terminal.
Fancy.
Big and fancy, yeah. And we got on there and checked them out. And luckily, everything was going good. They thought maybe he was having a heart attack or something.
Oh, wow.
And but everything was good. So we kind of got him off, escorted him, checked him, and, wheeled him off. And everything worked out.
I thought I seen something the other day about somebody landing a plane on the road.
Yeah.
So was that around here?
Yeah, that was kind of out. I believe it was off 67 down, kind of out towards the airport, like if you're going towards Hope on 67.
Yeah.
He did have an in-flight emergency, and his choice was to land it on the road there. And I don't know the policy or anything like that, but did a great job.
Yeah, man. What a guy.
Yeah, did a really great job. I mean, you never know with a plane.
That is insane, though. Yeah. Like, so did they know that was the plan and could clear the cars? That's what I was thinking.
You never know. Yeah, unless you're in the plane there with them. He probably knew that he wasn't going to make it to the airport safely because he probably could have shot for a runway, but if he was coming in short, he could have landed before and then been worse because there's trees around, the airport too before the airport. So his best bet was probably just hey, I got a clear stretch of road. I'm going to put it down right here. So pilots are trained really well.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's nuts.
To sit it down. Yeah, that's some heads up thinking.
Yeah. And no one even got hurt. So that's always a plus. So.
Heck yeah. My brain, I'm so ADD, sorry folks. Back to the pole.
Yeah.
Go ahead. The pole is it like a 2-story fire department? And so you slide down the pole to get to the truck faster?
Technically we have 3 stories out there.
Okay.
But, it's not like your mall is a 3 story, something like that. It's we've got 2 full stories. And then like the 3rd story is kind of like what we call a crow's nest. It's like a building you can see almost 360 degrees, the whole airport, the whole airfield. And we've, by the FAA, we've got to be, if we get a call, we've got to be out there on the airfield within 3 minutes. So that's why there's 2 poles in the station. So if we're on the top floor, we can't, run downstairs. It's going to take up more time.
So that is faster, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
So the fire pole, is that something that's, my whole life I've heard of the fire pole. So, this is a really old thing, huh?
Yeah. It's a tradition. They go back to, I couldn't even tell you, a long, long time ago, kind of like fire pole in like Dalmatian days. Yeah. It's just kind of been an icon of the fire department.
Yeah.
So,
what was the dog about? What was the Dalmatian about?
So there's been different rumors on why the dog was there. Some say it was just a companion, but others said it helped with the horses, on calls.
Yeah, they would go on a horse.
Yeah,
huh?
Exactly. So,
Sheesh.
And they never know. And the Dalmatian could be easily spotted because how it looks. So no one really knows. There's kind of been like, this is why. But
you can find Timmy in the whale.
Yeah, exactly. So.
Yeah, so the Dalmatian, the fire pole, that's some stuff I was thinking about.
Yeah.
How do you feel when you watch firefighters on TV?
So some of that is really Hollywood.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
it's way out there. I mean, you could go and watch Chicago Fire, and you know every call they're getting is like crazy bizarre. Does that happen? Yeah, but not every call.
Right.
You know, you're not going to exploding cars and buses that go off turnpikes or you know people impaled by fences. Every call, you know, it's not. You know, sometimes
that's just good TV.
yeah, and sometimes you're going out 3 o'clock in the morning to help. You know,
somebody grandma fell over.
Yeah, grandma fell over between the toilet or something. You never know.
Yeah,
so,
I bet there is a lot of those calls that are like,
yeah,
but we got to do it.
Yeah, you know, people that's all elderly.
The elderly are falling.
Yeah,
that is
sometimes they don't have their life alert.
Yeah,
So they call 911, or they do, and they call 911. They're there when we get there.
Yeah,
it's so you never know.
I just watched Tacoma FD.
Oh man,
I don't know if you've seen that.
I've seen like little commercials and stuff.
Yeah, like it's a comedy. Though. So it's meant to.
Yeah, it's meant to be humorous.
Yeah. That show was funny. That's I just finished that. It got canceled, but
yeah, I think I watched like an episode of it or something like that. But
it's goofy.
Oh, it's real goofy. It kind of reminds you of like I think the same guys on it, like a Reno 911 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not made to make sense, but it's there to be funny.
When I'm watching, especially when I would watch shows and they would show the military personnel, like especially like the Army.
Yeah.
And like, so I know what the Army uniform
You could probably
looks
sit
like.
there and critique it.
I'd just be like, oh!
Yeah.
Like their patches would be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Their ranks and stuff would be on the wrong side.
Position
like stuff,
somewhere on their
stuff
uniform.
that we used to just get like destroyed for. And I'm just like, or like the wrong get up.
Yeah, and you had that with everything, you know. I'm sure.
Did you see that at the fire shows?
Oh yeah, you'll watch it and like, you know, this guy should have had his like what we call a SCBA. It's called a self-contained breathing apparatus. Their air pack. Like he should have had it on then. He didn't even have it on, or you know, little parts like that. Like what are they doing? But Hollywood, you know, they got to make it fun.
Yeah, that's the fun of watching TV.
Yeah.
On Tacoma FD though, they took the captain. And he got hired after he got fired. They burned down the shop. It's the fire. What do you call it?
Fire station?
Yeah, the fire station.
Department, the house,
the firehouse. Something.
It all has different names where you would go.
Yeah. So the joke was they burned their own fire station down. And anyways, he went to get a job and he was working for a TV show. And he was it was a firefighter TV show. And he was just sitting there telling the producer, like, do it like this.
Oh, yeah.
They actually do it. And,
no. Yeah.
And they were and the joke was like the lady was just ignoring him basically. So he'd tell him like, no, that's not how that really would be. And she'd be like, it's Hollywood.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. They like give him some food and he'd shut up or whatever. But
that's how you feel you watch something like that. Yeah. But, you know, you kind of got to live with it. It makes it fun.
Yeah. My wife watched, I hate to stay on this, but my wife watched Army Wives.
Oh, yeah?
That show was driving
I think I remember that show.
Insane.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're a man out there and your wife watches TV shows, holy shit. Yeah. You ever watch something that you didn't really want to watch?
Oh, yeah.
You get like 10 episodes into it.
Yeah, you just be kind of sitting there and like, maybe on TikTok or something, you kind of slowly get interested.
Yeah, man. And I'm always, I like to complain. I'll be like talking mess to her just to get her stirred up or whatever. But like we were watching Grey's Anatomy one time, or she was watching Grey's Anatomy. I was playing on my phone, and I just kept like just little side comments or whatever. And she's like, well, I'll just turn it off. I was like, hold on now.
Yeah, let's finish this episode.
I need to see if bro survives. He got cancer. They think about cutting it out. I gotta figure out.
The show is so long, and it's so much drama.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I started watching. I'm not gonna lie. I think I started it and like, nah, I can't do this.
It's for women.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
100%.
So much drama.
She catches it. She did that way with Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I accidentally watched an episode or two of that.
I couldn't even start that.
It's not, bro, they can make shows about anything. But anyway.
Oh, yeah. What was the guy with the big slick back hair, does the DJ now?
You talking about Jersey Shore?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's seen it all. All I ever see them do is yell at each other.
Yeah. Some people's into that kind of stuff. Some people that's enjoyable.
My wife is so quiet and nice and stuff like that.
Maybe that's
and then
where
she just listens to
TV.
She listens to these shows where they just like go crazy on each other, and I'm like,
yeah,
no, thank you. But back to firefighting.
Yeah.
That's how fast I get. Yeah,
squirrel.
What else about firefighter? So what was the wildest call you ever got?
Man, we get asked that a lot. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you see a lot of stuff doing this. I mean, probably, I don't know. I mean, you see so much. The little thing is, too, is we get asked, do we get cats out of trees? I've probably gotten maybe 2 cats out, being on the fire department since growing up. So, but I don't know. The wildest calls.
My cat climbed in a tree one time, like 20 foot in the air, 25 feet in the air.
Come down.
And I was looking at it, and she's like, my wife was like, man, we should call somebody. And I was like, that cat got up there.
Yeah, exactly.
That cat gonna get down. I'm not finna harass these boys.
It's kind of wrong, but it's like, have you ever seen a cat skeleton in a tree? No. So they come down all the time.
It is wild that they can climb that high.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's what they can be 30, 40 foot up there.
Cats are scary, dude. Have you ever studied into cats?
No. Me and cats don't get along.
Dude, cats, the statistic that I like to tell people when we're talking about cats is cats as a whole. So this is big cats, little cats, all the cats in the world. I think they said 3.5 billion mammals a year get killed from cats.
Really?
From little house cats up to lions and tigers.
And I could see that.
Yeah, because they're killing everything.
Especially over was it in Africa or somewhere where they just roam crazy. Yeah. I could see that. Yeah.
But that's the thing, over there in Africa, you kind of have to, they only, they may only kill something every few days,
Yeah.
Because they got it's tough. It's tough. Wildlife is tough.
Oh, yeah. It's ruthless, man.
Yeah. And then people want society to be all
no.
It's the world is so crazy.
It's not ever gonna happen.
So dangerous out there. And so you see the danger.
Yeah.
And so do you have to kind of compartmentalize how dangerous life is from seeing so much?
You see it so much, so you kind of, get, I would say, adjusted to it. Seeing some things that's really severe, it kind of hits you. But, we have grief counselors and stuff, they'll come in and talk with us if it's, so bad or something like that. But, you do see a lot. So you kind of get, a seared conscience to it all. So it's a bad way to put it, but you kind of got to
callous.
Yeah. You kind of got to do that. Just because dealing with it, if you think about it, it's just going to kind of just stay with you, and you don't want to go home and go to bed and have it on your mind.
Yeah. If you ever left a call and was just like, what?
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. You'd be surprised, man. You should, how did that happen? Or how? It's.
Well, they're accidents. And so, it's just so goofy, how life is. Cause you could even the most serious person can get into the most comical, crash out, type of accident. You just never know. No matter how much you try to control life.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. We just had a wreck the other day. It could look like it's the worst wreck you've ever seen in your life. You get up there and they may have a scratch on their forehead. And then you can go up on one and the back bumper's just tore off. And, it could be somebody that's, has passed away or something in that wreck. You never know. So it's just always kind of a jolt with reality. Wow, that's happened. So,
well, I think so the average person that's not a first responder, we don't come into contact with some of the stuff that first responders go through.
Yeah,
and so I think the average person isn't confronted with dead bodies and things of that nature. And so being a first responder, you're saying, but I think in the past, in our history, the further you go back, I think the more normal it was for the average person to see, because people were just dying.
How times were.
Yeah.
I can see that. And it is, it's, even if it's for somebody that's maybe it passed away in their home from natural causes, I wouldn't say it's a routine, but a call or something like that. But, if we get a call, we kind of know what we're expecting, and we go there and, funeral home comes and we help them out. And then, it could be somebody that knew them or just even a neighbor three houses down that maybe not even knew them real well, but they could be just losing their mind like, oh my God, somebody's passed away in that house.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's like the normal person like on the street is not used to that type of situation or seeing something like that.
Yeah.
So.
Man, yeah, I'm sure y'all have to have, like you said, grief counselors, and have to kind of work that stuff out.
Because you never know. I mean, it could be, child, infants, or all the way up to somebody that's 100 years
like
old.
the military has a lot of emphasis on PTSD. Is there a big emphasis on that for first responders?
Yeah, here lately, over the years, it's gotten real strong because they've made it. And it's a good thing, more of a awareness, PTSD, because it's a serious deal. And especially police officers and even EMTs and firemen, what they see is it could haunt them pretty much. And they go, some, dwell on that kind of stuff. They go back and think about that stuff. Yeah. And that's where it starts. And, and so that's again why we have grief counselors. So after a severe call like that, they come in and talk to us, kind of decompress.
Yeah.
And then, go from there.
Man, I'll tell you one of the wildest deals I encountered. I was sitting right here and I was recording somebody.
Yeah.
And they were in there recording. And he came out. He was about to leave. We were just, how it takes forever to get done talking to somebody and leave somewhere.
Chatting it up, yeah.
And anyways, we were sitting right here. And all I heard was boom. And I had like shorts and I'm bad about having slides on. I didn't have no socks or nothing because this is like a friend of mine that was paying me to record. But it was super chill.
Yeah.
And I think I had like a wife beater on or something. And so I just immediately was like, oh, damn, what was that?
Yeah.
So I take off in the yard and I take off running and I look over there and I realize, I was like, okay, I see flames like over at this bridge. So the whole, where the road turns.
Yeah.
So I run up there. It's like 8:30. It was dark.
Oh yeah,
but it was summertime.
Okay,
so because it was hot. I remember it was hot. And so I go right over there. So I find out later that they stole the car. They stole the car on State Line. And like 7 minutes later, wrecked it out right there.
Oh yeah.
And
pretty common.
Yeah. So and there was 2 people I found out in there. So they come flying around this corner. Had to have been going 100 or something.
Probably, yeah.
Don't make the turn. They go up. They get caught in a tree. Like, they hit a tree and, like, they're hung up. I'm sitting there. The car's not quite, like, the inside, it hadn't, like, blown up. There's, like, fire around it. And so I'm on the phone with 911 or whatever. And my wife has done ran out. And she's followed me. And she's, like, kind of right there. And I'm all the way over at the bridge. I'm probably too close to this thing.
Yeah, probably.
And I'm trying to see, like, is there people in here? Like,
oh no.
And like as I was on the phone with 911, and this is what killed me. Now you may know these people, but the 911 people on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell them.
Oh, that's a whole different rabbit hole there.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to tell them, please come, the car's on fire. And they got hung up on the question that was killing me. It was nighttime. They kept asking me over and over, what color is the car? I don't give a damn about the color of the car. These people finna blow up which I think they died on impact.
Probably,
because they were going so fast.
Yeah.
As I'm on the phone and this lady keeps harassing about the color of the car. I can't tell. I think it's maroon. I don't know.
Yeah.
But she literally asked me like 5 times and we got hung up on it. And I'm like, no, like we don't need to be talking about this right.
So what they do is they have like a list of questions they normally ask.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of call it is, they have like a list like, hey, is this? And that's probably what they were doing. And you may have gotten, a newer dispatcher that's, I've got to stick to my list. Like, so
I was like, I don't give a damn about that list. These people are in trouble, but it was too late. And as I'm on the phone with them, like the engine blew up.
Yeah.
And I felt like a wave of like.
Oh, imagine. Yeah. It's pretty intense.
My wife, I'm laughing, but it was just because it's like, what the hell? Not like, but my wife is down the road and she's screaming at me, get out. Because at this point, I'm like standing on like the bridge, like looking over.
No, yeah.
Which I was probably I was further than the wall over there.
Yeah.
So I mean.
You're pretty good.
I felt it though.
Oh,
but
imagine.
I'm on the phone, and she was
What
like,
color is the car?
what was that? And I was like, that was the maroon car.
That was the maroon car that blew up. It's black now.
Oh my gosh! It was.
In
And
flames.
then the flames were huge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was just a fireball.
Yeah, imagine all that gas.
Yeah, and then and they finally showed up, and I talked to the police, and I talked to the firefighters, and I don't know if I talked to the firefighters. I talked to the police anyways, and then I remember going to dinner because we already had a dinner plan. We were just gonna go like on the border, meet with a friend or two, and I remember just sitting on the border, just like
you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I was like, dude,
running a scenario through your head.
Like, bro, these people just burned up in front of me. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then I guess if you take that and times it by like how much y'all do it, good.
Take that and then like do it like 100 times worse when you roll up, thinking about rolling up in a fire truck, and then that's the situation you come up on, and then you get the fire out, and then if there's people that's been killed in that, you're having to pull them out, once that's happened, and deal with that. And then when you get back to the station or volunteers, when you get back home or something like that, you're thinking about maybe you're in a recliner, or maybe you're going back to bed, or whatever. Maybe you're eating a bowl of cereal because this morning you're thinking about what could I've done different, that's so you got that, what happened in that scenario, what you could have done. And so that kind of eats on you too, but it's,
golly, yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it. People don't think about, hey, these volunteers, they're, just volunteers, but man, they see a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate, especially with Liberty Eylau. We've got good group of volunteers. I couldn't speak more highly about every single one of them on there. They good training. They're there. So
I like that I see y'all out a lot.
Yeah, that
I
is
see
so
y'all at all the every event.
Exactly. And that's when I became chief. That's something super important to me, is like PR, is getting with the community, showing our faces in the community.
Yeah, because I've got several pictures, like different pictures of my kids in front of the fire trucks and stuff.
If we could be involved in any community, like we do National Night Out at the school, we do like trunk or treats at schools or at the churches. Or I think one of my firemen, two of them actually stopped the other day. They were doing some checks and stuff, and they stopped at a lemonade stand and bought some lemonade. So they're really, all of them are really engaged with the community. And I couldn't be more proud about that, because that's what you got to do. So they know who you are. They're not, if you roll out to the house, well, I've never seen these guys,
Yeah.
So,
Isn't Timothy?
Timothy Brown's my captain. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And he's on the school board?
He's on the school board. Yeah.
So
he kind of dabbles in a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I'm going to get him on here too.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. He's good. He started as a cadet.
Yeah.
And his nickname, everybody calls him Little Chief, because when my dad was chief, he'd go pick him up and he'd ride everywhere with my dad, like calls and stuff like that. Yeah. So he just kind of got the name Little Chief.
Little Chief.
And so, he stayed with it. He came to calls, did all the training, and he's moved up in ranks and is captain now.
So so there's cadets, then like firemen, then captain and chief. Is that all the ranks, or is there more ranks?
So in your officer ranks, so once you become just like a regular fireman, you got fireman, and you got your lieutenant. Okay, and then captain, assistant chief, and then chief.
So a lieutenant is...
That's kind of like your entry level into an officer's position.
Okay. And then, so are captains going on the fire calls?
Yeah. So,
but not chiefs.
No, I mean,
or they could, huh?
Yeah. Since we're all volunteer, it's
like at the fire station.
like like in Texarkana or something like that.
Yeah.
Chiefs can go. Like the chief of Texarkana is a really good guy. He still shows up at fires. I don't know how much he goes in fires, because he's doing a chief role, but he still shows up, shows his face there and stuff like that.
But captains are still going. Fires?
Captains. So captains ride in the passenger seat at the front of the truck. It's called a captain's seat. Okay. And so they're still going to fires, going in fires,
and they're the ones calling the shot at the fire.
Yeah. So you've got. So they're in charge of that truck. So like if the engine down there, engine 7, they roll on a call, that captain on that truck's in charge of that truck and that crew. They get on a fire or something, they got called like a battalion chiefs. And then that battalion chief is in charge of like the whole scene there. So they'll have multiple like trucks there.
It's real similar to the military. It's like your captain is kind of like your sergeant. You would have a sergeant like directly over you.
Yeah.
He's in charge of your,
You've got your leadership roles, you know, so you gotta, you start your entry, then you go up to.
So is there like you'll have to do like chain of command
Yep,
and all
exactly.
that stuff? Like you don't just go talk to the chief. You have to.
So if you have like a fireman has a problem, you need to go talk to your lieutenant.
Yeah,
and then
your lieutenant
you go
to the captain, and captain to the chief. Yeah,
so
that's his same.
In term, the chief should be the last to know about it unless it's something serious.
Right, that's how they would say like the commander.
Yeah,
like in our unit, like
because they're dealing with so much already.
Yeah,
they don't want to be bothered with something small.
Something I saw in the military bunch is stuff getting lost in translation coming from top to bottom, bottom to top.
Oh yeah,
that's just chain of command.
That's going to happen. Especially in the fire service. It can get chaotic. Yeah. So
same with the military.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's also very structured too at that point. So and the big thing is in fire service is a brotherhood. So
right,
yeah. So you kind of got everything that kind of goes into one big bucket, and then you make it work.
Yeah. What's up with lady firefighters? Is that a thing?
Yeah, man. We've got several ladies on our fire department.
Is that a new thing?
No, it's just not as common as a male being a fireman. But yeah, we've got women in our fire department. They do just as good as the males.
Right.
So
yeah,
they did the same job.
Yeah, I wonder when that happened, because for a while I imagine there was probably a long.
Yeah, I'm sure that was period. Like a thing like the military. I think they just started. I don't know, like a couple years ago, letting them in like entry or infantry positions or something like that.
Yeah, I was at Fort Benning when the first batch of girls came in, but they wasn't with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was in one of the last all-guy units at Fort Benning. Yeah.
Man, yeah. So, hey, they do the same training.
Oh, yeah, you just got to have the right type of woman.
Yeah,
There's some, especially like infantry or something like
yeah. That's a tough job.
There's some ladies that can do it.
Oh, more than I could.
Yeah, that's tough, because we did some wild stuff. But, but yeah, you got to carry somebody out of a burning building.
Yeah. It's nuts, man. You never know.
Yeah, I wouldn't care who it was as long as they get me out of there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's more of it.
And there's many other ways that, firemen get you out of there. Different crawls, different techniques.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I guess that Hollywood portrayed way. Throwing you over your shoulder. I got you. Like going out the ladder. Does that happen? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. But, there's still other ways.
You can drag somebody out of there too.
Yeah, I'm 130 something pounds soaking wet. I'm not going to throw somebody,
200
big,
pounds
over my shoulder.
Yeah.
But there's techniques to get them out.
Yeah.
So that's why we train.
Y'all have a sled? Y'all ever bring y'all ever do the sled?
Yeah, we have backboards and stuff like that, skid units. So it makes it easier.
Golly, we drag. I think there was one time we was in the field doing some kind of training exercise, and we had to drag this dude. Like these two guys went down in like in just like a fake scenario or whatever.
Oh yeah.
We was in like Fort Polk in the middle of the woods. It was like 103 degrees. And we were in kit. We put these two guys on these sleds in the middle of the swamp, bro. We was just dragging them, but we had a time hack.
Oh yeah.
So they're just
bouncing. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you gotta get them out of there.
And we have. And usually, if you're at that kind of situation, somebody's just like, get me out of here, just get me to the hospital. And we've had people that break their legs sitting in deer stands in the middle of the woods, and we had to go way out in the woods and wrap them up and get them back out on a backboard or like a Stokes bass or something.
Yeah.
Does it feel good probably coming out?
No. So, but I think at that point you're just kind of.
Oh yeah, get me out of a deer stand, I break my ribs or something like that. Just get me to the hospital.
My dad fell out. My dad got in a deer stand, an old one, and it collapsed.
Yeah.
Hurt his back and stuff, but it's been years. But
yeah, it could happen.
You gotta. I'm sure y'all, man. That's just they're so.
And they're probably not happy with you. They'll be kind of using all kinds of language with you.
You ever run into rude people? I'm sure.
Oh man,
even though you're trying to help them.
Oh yeah, they didn't get here fast enough.
Yeah.
What happened? You'll never be fast enough if something's going on. And it's.
Yeah, well, it's like if let's say my grandma falls right now.
Yeah.
On Fricks Lane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bitch about how fast somebody gets there.
Of course.
It's just
and we would be the ones that show up. Yeah. Because you got to think, if you call 911, they're calling it, then they call us, and then since a lot of the departments around here, out of the city limits, are volunteer. Mm-hmm. So no matter what they're doing, they get that call. They could be whatever. Then they got to go into that address and do that. So,
yeah.
But we get a really good feedback in Liberty Eylau of how we show up and help. So that's kind of rewarding too.
I think it's been a long time. I was probably like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And we had a grass fire one time. I think that's the only time I've ever had the deal. But I tell you what, like I said, people be wrecking out right here.
Yeah.
Right at the road.
We hear it a lot. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
It's that curve.
Yeah.
They're not ready for it.
At night, yeah.
And then I ain't trying to give away where I live at, but anyways, you know where the corner of, well, anyways, this is just a general area where his, I'll bleep this.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know where I live exactly, but that corner, that's my cow field there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I've got it spray painted like holographic yellow, all that stuff. And they miss that turn and go right into my cow field. It's happened so many times.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Somebody asked me, they're like, why don't you brace it up and stuff? I said, we're going to kill them.
Yeah.
We'd rather just drive through my barbed wire fence and I'll fix it.
Yeah, replace it.
Put a barricade, we're going to kill somebody.
Yeah, or they tear down and you got more to build back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I bet people fly through. I see where they put them barricades back up on, it's another turn like that. George Thomas.
Oh, yeah. On the very end.
Where you could just drive.
Why they did that is because
somebody driving to their house, huh?
Went straight through it. Straight through it. I was on that call.
You were on that call?
Yeah, it was early one morning, and without going into too much detail, the guy speed was a factor, and I think that if I remember correctly, that lady normally sits in her living room on the couch right in front of that window and drink coffee, but I think like she didn't drink coffee. The coffee pot was messed up, so she wasn't there that day. And so I don't know. That's
Stuff
crazy.
like that happens.
Oh yeah.
What do they call that? They call that not a coincidence, but they call that there's some term that people use when they're talking about when stuff is synced up like that.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word. Anyways, a lot of
it's nuts. Yeah, she got super lucky.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, that's just because stuff like that happens all the time. Like you hear stories like that. Well,
yeah,
I sat right there every day for 20 years, and one day
I didn't. Something happens. Yeah, you hear it
I'd
more.
still be mad as hell. I'm in my house and a car comes.
Oh, it went completely through it, like front through the house, out the back. Like there was a gaping hole in the house.
Yeah, but I'm trying not to laugh at people because I don't want to.
Yeah, well,
I just took out my neighbor's mailbox a couple days ago, and actually I fell asleep.
Oh yeah,
I was just pushing it, dude. Like, it was just like my dad was out of town. Me and him run a business together, and so I had everything.
Yeah,
it was all me,
man.
And I was like, I'm gonna turn up, and I just got too tired, and like I drove to Ashdown, and I was heading back from Ashdown, and like so there was several different points. Like I tell you, I knew I was kind of in trouble at State Line. Oh, like getting on the loop to come through town.
Yeah.
And then the closer I got to the house, the more confident I got.
Yeah, you get more relaxed.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm going to make it home, dude. Then I drove by the new racetrack, which how wonderful is a new racetrack?
Oh man. It would have been 10 times off, but it'd have been 10 times better if they put like a restaurant in it, like IHOP or Denny's. Yeah, that would have been the spot.
Yeah, that would have been the spot for sure. But yeah, so I drove by. I had this thought in my head. I was like, Joe, you should go in there and get you a drink. And I was,
what did he? No.
And then I was like, well, no, I just turned on Kings Highway.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, now I'm on my road. You're it's a little stretch though, because I go all the way to the.
Yeah.
But I was like, then I get between the two churches, and I'm like, whoa, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, at that point, like you literally feel drunk. Like,
oh yeah,
it could have just pulled out, walked around the car, the truck a couple times.
Get you a little boost of energy.
Yeah, and I would have been fine. I get down to where like I can see down there, see where it turns into or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just remember like nothing for a second, and then I wake up and I'm in the middle of the ditch over here.
Oh no!
And then I try to swerve to miss the mailbox. I clipped the mailbox, which it didn't. All it did was shatter my rear view mirror, like your side mirror.
Oh yeah.
But it didn't knock it off. It just shattered it. And so some of the shards kind of hit me, but that way that didn't really hurt me. And then like so I did knock their mailbox off.
Yeah.
And then I turned sideways and went into the ditch and ended up, and I damn near touched the other people's fence. There's this nice lady, she used to have goats and stuff. They had a bunch of goats and stuff over there.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so but it was crazy, dude, because I'm going like 55.
Yeah.
I do go over here, do over this. And
Instant.
I just barely tapped the fence. And my truck's, and it's like a 99 Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
It's just an old work truck. I'm going to keep driving until I just would not do nothing else. Especially now, dude.
Yeah.
And it was dead. So I was like, oh crap. I don't know. You know, I go through the stages of that. Like, how in trouble am I right now?
Yeah. He's like,
So it cranked. Well, first of all, I felt myself. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Make sure you're all right.
Yeah. I'm awake as hell now.
Yeah. You're ready to go.
I didn't even, I ended up doing some other work after that, which was questionable.
Exactly. You're
but I mean,
probably.
I couldn't have slept at that point. No way. Because the adrenaline and all that.
Yeah. Man, stuff can happen in an instant.
But I drove out of there. I just kind of drove up the hill and I went back and told my neighbor I'm sorry for breaking his mailbox. I just pumped his tank a couple weeks ago, so I just talked to this guy.
At least y'all are kind of in a good relationship.
Yeah, I buried their cow for free. So
you're good then.
Yeah, so I have a tractor and they had a cow pass away and they just called me up and was like, hey, could you bury the cow? I was like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, good terms with them. I try to stay good. You know, I know all the neighbors in that whole area. Everybody's good over there, but
that's good.
It was embarrassing.
Oh, man.
He was looking at me like I was a crackhead, and I was trying to explain to him, I'm not on drugs.
I just went to sleep.
I just did too much.
Yeah.
Should have pulled over.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet y'all deal with that a lot.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, you was getting comfortable. That's when like the most wrecks happen, believe it or not, because people get comfortable and they get complacent and like, oh, I'm almost home. You know, most wrecks happen between like a mile or 2 miles from your house. Because I totaled out my car. I used to live down, this is several years ago, down Sherwood Forest. And man, I turned off 59 and I had a wreck and it was like I shoved the motor back in my car. It was a 350Z. I hit a culvert so hard and like it's less than a mile from my house.
Yeah,
you just get comfortable.
I got a buddy that lives down that road. I go down that road all the time.
Yeah, so it's just, man, I did that road for years and years and years. And I was like, I'm almost home. I don't even know what it was. It was probably when I was moving equipment or something I was tired to or something like that.
Yeah.
But I woke up and I remember I was hungry. This is a funny story. My parents never let me down. And I was hungry and I went to stop by the Easy Mart, got some like chicken strips, and I was waiting on the ambulance. And this is in Liberty, Eylau, so it was like embarrassing because I knew all the guys were going to show up.
Oh yeah.
And I was waiting, and I was hungry, so I just started eating chicken strips like in my wrecked car, waiting on them. Yeah, and that sticks now. They like, you chicken,
you're making the best of a bad situation, though.
Yeah, but it's crazy.
I'm not finna let that wreck stop me from the chicken.
No, I was hungry, man. I was shouting down.
They had to get you out. They had to like.
No, I was able to get out, but like, you know, like most people do, they wreck their car. They would get out and kind of look at the damage and walk around. If it's not too bad. I kind of sat back down there and closed the door and was eating chicken strips. So they thought I was like seriously hurt. I wasn't out. I was like, man, I was just chomping down some strips.
Bro, I was right here down Buchanan. It was one night, dude, I see so many accidents. Like, and there was this time, like, and it hasn't happened to me in a long time, so maybe I shouldn't say that. There was some.
Yeah, dog got some wood.
Yeah. But dude, there was like this period where I saw like 7 accidents.
Yeah.
In like a year span.
Yeah, that's a very common road. We get a lot of accidents. That and 59.
Yeah, I was right there on Buchanan. I was coming under the bridges and I was coming down, getting kind of close to the school.
Yeah.
But I was further down than the school.
Okay. Yeah.
You know where it kind of does the whoop-de-whoop?
The little S's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just minding my own business, driving the speed limit. It's late at night. This lady comes flying through. She don't make the...
Oh, yeah.
And she hits the ditch and she like rams up in the air and knocks a telephone pole in half.
Yeah.
In half.
Yeah.
And so I called 911 again, dude. I don't know why it happens to me. I always have to call 911.
What color is the vehicle?
We do not get along. Me and 911 people do not get along, bro. But I had to call in so many of them. Like, I called in. Like, I was the first person to like 7 of them. No bullshit. Like, I don't know how.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, so now this power line was like touching the top of the car.
Oh, yeah. That's when it gets dangerous.
And this lady was like trying to get out of her car.
Oh, no.
And like I was there and I was trying to be nice to her at first. And I was like, hey, like they said, keep you in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was trying to, but I don't know this lady. It's just a stranger. And she was just in this big traumatic deal. And I don't know. I really don't know if she's drunk. I don't know how it happened or just too fast or what. And so finally, I think I may have talked bad to her, but and for her own safety,
you got the point across.
I was like, stay in the fucking.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse my language.
But got to
stay in the fucking car,
yeah,
lady, please. And she was just like, I'm finna get out, and I'm like, no, you ain't.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to touch the car neither because I wasn't trying to get zapped.
Oh, man, that stuff would tear you up.
But the sheriff, it was a sheriff, and he pulled up and he looked at it and he was like, yeah, I probably shouldn't do this. And he just flung the door open and got her out. And I was like,
hey, that's on them. That's on them.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching and I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So you did your part. But yeah, there's a lot of dangers into that stuff.
I'll tell you one more. I'm telling you all my crazy stories, my bad. But right here, another one. They come around the corner. I guess I'm in the yard this time.
Yeah.
Me and my wife, because we actually lived here for a little bit before we moved to where we are now. And we were just hanging out in the yard, and all I hear is boom, just kind of like right over there. And we were in the backyard. I was like, what the heck is going on here? And so I go out and I'm looking around, I don't see nothing. What's going on here? You know, it's a drop off over there on the other side.
Oh, yeah, it's a culvert.
It's just huge drop off. And so finally I hear a horn go.
They done Dukes of Hazzard it over there.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, they're on the other side. They're in the ditch over there.
Lee.
And so this lady, I ain't gonna lie, this lady looked a little crazy. The vehicle was rough. The lady was rough.
Oh no.
It was a rough situation. I walked down this deal. Here I go finna call 911.
What color is it?
What color is the vehicle? And this lady was like, she was eating a sandwich, I guess, because there was a tomato stuck on the front windshield.
Oh, no.
So I think what happened was, I think she just took this corner like mid-bite.
She probably, and probably tried to overcorrect and then went.
Wham.
Yeah.
So she had wedged it off into like she kind of drove into the deal to where now she couldn't move. Now she couldn't get her door open.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Well, I was like, well, it doesn't seem like it's that bad. You just have to wait till the fire department get here and they'll help you get out. And I was talking her down and stuff. And she was kind of out of it and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then she looked at her leg.
Oh, no.
And I was like, she looked at her leg and she said, oh, my God.
Was it broke or something?
Oh, God, it was broke, bro. And I was like, I make the mistake of saying, she said, I was like, oh, well, what do we got? What do we got here? I peek at them, I'm like, oh.
You made it worse.
Dude.
10 times worse.
Her leg is in there and her foot is like hanging off to the side. I see bones.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
man, that's
ligaments. Her foot is like this way. Her leg is this way and her foot is like that way.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I tried to be cool because I feel like I had already like escalated the situation.
Yeah, man, it works.
Like, damn. But
it's kind of like human reaction or nature, to do that. Like, oh my God.
And so I was trying to keep her calm. Then she's pushing the door. I'm like, well,
you need to stay put.
The door's not gonna, and so they show up. They show up again. There was the firefighters, and they took her door off and shit, and like they pulled the car or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And
man, like I said, you see some wild things doing that kind of stuff.
And that's just my little 3 or 4 experience. I'm still traumatized.
Just think about it. If you're working every 3 days, or every third day, and for a solid 24 hours, like there's no telling what you'll see. They're getting crazy, man.
That's what, see, everybody's like, everybody keeps telling me, you need to be careful on your podcast talking about Texarkana. You always read. I say, well, I talk to the people. It's the people I'm talking to keep telling me. I talk to a police officer.
Yeah. I mean, anybody, I think that's, in their right mind can see that Texarkana has gotten so rough. I mean, there's still a lot of good in Texarkana, don't get me wrong, but it's gotten a little rough. So,
yeah, if I'm asking the firefighters and the police department, they're the people seeing this.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of things that go unseen too. So,
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, so many accidents, like almost accidents.
Yeah. Yeah. And
there's no telling how many like split seconds stuff are from just going left.
Oh yeah,
those just aren't accidents, and so they never hit your radar. But
that could be anything. Just so many close calls that we get called to. Like, but if it'd been like 30 seconds longer, or if you'd been an inch closer, it would have been catastrophic. And then you're like, that's when you go back to thinking like, man, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
It keeps it fun.
Yeah. Fun for you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you, like I said, you see a lot of things, but and you smell a lot of things too. So
Oh man,
if you got a weak stomach, I wouldn't. I would not recommend becoming a fireman or EMT because it's
and at that
smells.
Point, at that point, you don't have no choice.
Oh yeah, you kind of gotta either suck it up.
Well, I do septic work, so my nose may be blind.
Yeah. I'm sure you could be used to it, but there's different smells of different situations too.
Yeah, true. I like popping open a septic tank lid and watching people like give out, and I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, that's money to y'all.
Yeah,
like that. There's a guy on TikTok I watch like with a poop smoothie or something.
Yeah,
and he's just churning it up. He's like, money.
Yeah. Oh, he got one of the crust busters.
Yeah, crust busters. That's what he calls it. Yeah.
I'm old school, man. I got this big giant like metal hoe.
Yeah.
And I do it by hand.
Really?
Old school.
They don't splash on you?
I get splash.
God. See, I can't do those kind of smells.
We were under a house today and my dad cut into a pipe. We were like a repair job and cut into something and it was just full. And
See, I'd lose it.
I get into some binds. I had to get in one time and cut roots out of an inlet line because it was stopping it up.
Oh, really?
And when I got it out, once I unclogged it, it was unclogged.
And it started rolling in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. See, I'd go back to looking at those broken foots and stuff like that rather than doing that.
So you'd rather see a broken foot?
100%. I can't do smells, man. I could, the
other day, I couldn't get my rod in to get this deal. This guy has a clean out cap. And it's just like how you can get access to like, in between your tank and your house or whatever. And it had been broke off and it had a tree over it. And as it's been raining and going through all these different seasons and stuff, it's just full of leaves and all that stuff. So I get in there and this clean out's real close to the tank. So I just started reaching my hand in there because I was like, well, I'm here. I got to get this done. I got other things I got to do. And so I just kept going and going and going. I had my arm like completely twisted off in there and I finally got the break free and it was nasty.
Golly. So kill this myth. Is all flushable wipes, are they all flushable?
No, don't never flush a wipe.
That's
I don't care what. I don't give a damn if it says that the damn president said that it works. Don't flush no wipe. Yeah. 0 wipes go in the toilet.
Exactly. That's
toilet paper. Toilet paper is not really great for a septic.
Really?
No. Every time I pump a bad septic tank is full of toilet paper.
Hey.
You gotta think most of the solid, like I know this is nasty, but most of the solids turns liquid. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Especially once you get into your tank is full of liquid already.
Yeah, exactly.
So your poop and stuff dissolves.
Yeah.
Man, the solid shit the stuff that's actually in there that's giving me a problem, or like the guy you like to watch, he's using the crust buster.
Yeah.
He's busting up toilet paper.
Really?
That's Charmin Ultra, baby.
That's the strong stuff, boy.
I can tell. Look, I can tell what kind of toilet paper you use when I pull up to pump your tank.
Yeah, if you're using that cheap wax paper stuff.
Cheap is good. 1 ply is good.
What? There ain't no way. I ain't getting no paper cuts on my butt cheeks, man.
But Charmin Ultra, you pay the price.
I guess you do. Both ways.
I can stick a shovel in to some of these tanks, and they'll hold it. The shovel can just sit in it.
Really?
I caught the shovel test. That's how you know if it's really bad or not.
So there's like no good way.
Not really. If you're in the country, like I burn my toilet paper.
Really?
Just throw it in the waste still and throw it away. That's kind of, some people say that's disgusting. That's just the worst thing they've ever thought of. But it's like,
I guess you take it out pretty frequently.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you don't just
You don't want to like leave that there for like a week.
No.
Because you got to smell rank.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it.
I've heard about people doing that.
Yeah,
so.
But if you take like you got your little trash can beside the toilet.
Yeah.
You put a trash bag in there.
Yeah.
Or like a Walmart sack.
Oh, that's high tech. That's what I use, man.
Yeah, and I just get rid of that thing, man. First things. But I go in people's houses too. No bueno.
Really?
Hate going in people's houses because it's just like.
Yeah.
You've probably been in people's houses where it's like it was so dirty and nasty that the emergency wasn't really what was like traumatizing.
Yeah.
It was how they were living.
Yeah, turn the wall, like the lights on, the wall moves. Yeah. Or you step in and it's crunching. Oh, man.
Bugs,
you'd be surprised.
Cat shit and piss everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cat ladies are bad.
Man, there's some houses.
If you've got like 30 cats in your house, that's rough. and I guess you get nose blinds. My grandparents had they had a nice house. They were like sophisticated people, which is so crazy because my dad on the other side, they're all just like blue collar. We worked forever, and like then this other side of our family was like, oh, we read books and all this shit, and so. But they had these cats in their house, and the cats would just pee and shit everywhere.
Oh, that's why I don't like cats.
And cats are crazy, dude.
Yeah, I had a cat when I was little, and that's what it did. Like, I remember my mom and dad getting so mad because it like would get on the counter, and like then they'd see it get in a litter box, do its thing, and then get right back on the counter. I'm like, oh no. Oh no! Oh no!
You didn't even wipe, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So like cats for me is like a no go.
I'm on taking a break from a dog right now, and I'm loving it.
Really? See, I got 2 dogs. I got a German Shepherd and I got a Doodle. And if you aren't ever owned a German Shepherd, they shed like crazy.
Oh yeah, I can't do it.
I went through probably like 2 Roombas. They burn up.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, it's
dog hair is like
it's vacuuming every day.
Yeah,
and then you got to get them groomed down. It's a process, but you do it for your dog. But yeah, I'm to the point.
See, that's my thought. It's my theory. Everybody says, "Oh, I just do it for the dog." I have a theory that people don't really like their dogs. I love my dog. Yeah,
I mean, I do. I would do anything for that dog. Like, probably then more than I should probably talk about. But I would do it. But then again,
But there's a ton of inconveniences about your dog.
Like I said, if I go on vacation and we board the dog or something like that, it's like when I come back maybe a day earlier, it's like I get home and like. Man, because they're inside dogs. And I was like, this is nice. Not having to let a dog out, every couple hours or not having them running around. It's like, and they're good dogs. I mean, but it's just like.
I've been dog free for a year and I don't regret it.
Yeah, yeah.
I have 2 small kids though. So.
Oh, that keeps you busy.
I don't need any extra.
No. Yeah. No, I don't got no small humans.
That is my, in the back of my head, that is my theory that maybe not everybody, but lots of people that have dogs don't like them. They don't actually like them. They like the idea of having a dog.
The idea of a dog. Oh, yeah, I can see people doing that. Yeah. Just saying I have a dog or a certain type of dog to be fit in with something. Yeah. Yeah.
How we've strayed.
Yeah, exactly. Broken feet to dogs.
Yeah. Well, anything else? Anything coming up that the fire department's going to be involved in?
Man, we've got our next probably big outing will be in October. I don't have set dates. Will be National Night Out at the school. Probably
that's
the middle school. Yeah, the middle school this year.
Okay.
They usually do it right there by the ball fields in that little field.
Okay. Cool.
And we have all our trucks there, and I reach out to, like the state troopers, the medical people, the park rangers, anybody cool and get out there. And hopefully, man, we can get like a helicopter out there this year, like medical helicopter. That would draw in a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but they stay so busy. So, but that's what we're working on this year. So we kind of have a couple of people we can reach out to. So.
What happens if there's an emergency during like one of these events?
For us?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll go.
Just shut the whole deal down. And
it depends on what it is. If it's something, big and critical, we'll all go. But, if it's somebody that's fallen and can't get up, we'll send a couple people. Hey, go handle it and come back. Kind of a, Yeah,
I guess Halloween's coming, so you'll have the trunk or treat stuff.
Yeah, we do that.
It's crazy that time of year is.
I know this year is flown by fast. I've been, if you stay so busy, it just goes.
I'm kind of excited for this year to be over.
Oh, it's been.
Then hot. I want it to slow down.
Yeah, it's been hot.
I just want to get away from this election year deal.
It's been nuts, man. It's been crazy. So I own a lawn care and landscaping business on my days off. So like, it's even got to the point where like customers come out and talk to me and they start talking about this. I'm like, man,
dude,
I'm just here.
Give me the runaround while I'm pumping their septic tanks and stuff, and I'm just like, dude, this is the last thing I want to talk about today. But
I'm not trying to get into politics, man. I'm trying to get your yard and your landscaping or whatever we're doing at your property done and roll out. We ain't trying to debate on this.
Yeah.
So it's getting crazy.
Yeah. I'm tired of it. Then I got all these podcasts. I feel like I get drawn into it. And
it's kind of like,
I really don't like.
Do you need to talk about it? Like go down there? Yeah.
But like then stuff happens. It's like, okay, like this is definitely easy to talk about.
I try not to watch the news. So
yeah.
The only time I do watch the news would be like at work when I'm there for 24. Or,
I don't think people
whatever.
trust the news anymore. This is not. This is, I was winding down the conversation. That's not the thing to say.
No,
before you wind
you're
down
right.
the conversation.
It just
I don't think people trust the news anymore. What do you?
No,
think?
you're right. You're right. What can you trust in anymore?
Where do you get in? Where do you get information from?
Man, Fox News. So that's just my way of learning. So, but I'm not saying it's the best.
Yeah, I'm afraid that they're all. I think that's why a lot of people listen to podcasts and listen to and they're on the phone so much and getting their news from, which is comes with all different problems.
Yeah,
with that too. But I don't think people trust.
No, I mean
anymore.
Because there's been so many things that went on where it's proven where you can't trust it or, something's happened. Like the recent events, like, well, what really did happen? And then it's like, whatever. So I don't know.
But this year, I'm ready for it to end. But
me too. Yeah.
I'm ready to talk about other stuff. But yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I'm glad you came, man.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been great. So.
I'm gonna try to get maybe Timmy on here and get him to talk.
Yeah, I'll give him a heads up to come talk to you.
I know him pretty well, so it's been a couple of years since I've really seen him. But
like I said, he dabbles in a little bit of everything. His face is in the community, so he's really done good for himself. I'm super proud of him. So,
which I've been in Liberty Eylau my whole life.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So,
born and raised and living there. So.
Yeah, same here. So I like doing the community stuff. Yeah, man. Hopefully we don't need you.
No,
but it's good that we got you.
Exactly, we're there. Just call 911.
Yeah,
we'll show up.
Ask them what
in full force.
Wait till they ask you what color the vehicle is.
Yeah,
it's maroon. I should have told her it's red. It's on fire.
Yeah, anyway. It's flames.
We appreciate y'all tapping in. 180 Creator Interviews. I try to at least drop 2 every week. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for subscribing, doing all that stuff. It really helps a lot. More guests coming soon. More episodes coming soon. Y'all stay tapped into what the fire department's doing. And y'all be blessed. Appreciate it.